Hi, my name's Tom. I want to go ahead and talk about two sunscreens that I've been using for the last week or two. I used these on vacation, and then I went ahead and came home and I kept using them, and I even went ahead and did a test, one on each arm, to kind of see which one I like better, and I'm going to tell you all about what I found. So first things first, from a performance standpoint, they're both pretty similar. This is 50 SPF, this is 40 SPF. I haven't noticed much of a difference one way or the other. They do what they're intended to do. You put them on and they work. They both have an 80-minute time before you have to reapply. Water resistant, sweat, all that good stuff. They're both pretty much the same thing. As well as active ingredients, both exactly the same active ingredients. That being said, there are some differences. First things first, the Neutrogena is a little bit softer, I've noticed. So this is kind of a softer, almost a waxy, kind of as a hard wax, but it's a little bit softer than the Coppertone. It's hard to tell here, but this is a little more solid. This is a little more soft. It could just be that I've used one differently than the other, but there's just a slight difference. I noticed this goes on a little, with a little less residue. This goes on a little softer, and it leaves a little bit more of a kind of a white residue until it kind of absorbs. The Neutrogena actually has a little bit of a tropical coconutty smell to it. The Coppertone has nothing. There's zero odor whatsoever. Yeah, nothing. This is actually kind of pleasant. It smells like what you think about with suntan lotion normally. It smells like a little coconutty, a little tropical, I guess. The Neutrogena definitely has some odors in it, which makes it smell pleasant. It's not bad to smell. The Coppertone, nothing. I don't smell anything with this. Both of these seem to stay on. I wore them in the pool, in the ocean. I wore them when working out. Both seem to stay on equally as well. I put one on one arm and I put one on the other arm about an hour ago. I went ahead and did a whole bunch of yard work around the yard, pulling weeds and raking and cutting some lawn down, and they both perform pretty well. You can't really tell now. I've kind of been in the shade for a couple minutes. But as I sweat, both arms sweat, you could see it. This one again has a little more of a residue there when you first put them on, and you'll notice that. My recommendation for either one of these is to do this. Put them on about 15 minutes before you go out in the heat. Because if you leave either one of these things in the heat, this one, the Neutrogena, a little more so than the Coppertone, they will get soft. So some of the complaints are, oh, these are kind of ooey and gooey, and they're kind of soft and they're sticky almost. Well, if you put them on and the stick is already 90 degrees, they will go on a little bit melty, almost like a candle melts. It is basically kind of a waxy substance. That's just what it comes right down to. If you want to go ahead and, again, wait inside, put your sunscreen on, and then go ahead and after 15 minutes or so go out. I do find that it gets a little less gooey. You don't notice it quite as much. In really extreme heat, you will still feel it. By the way, I use sticks over a spray because I don't like the aerosol smell of a spray. When you spray yourself with an aerosol, it kind of gets all over the place and you're not really sure exactly what you're getting. With a stick, you are actually getting exactly where you rub, so you can kind of see. That is also kind of why I like this one a little more for seeing stuff, because it's slightly softer and you'll see it on your arm. You'll see exactly what you've hit and what you haven't. This stuff goes on because it's so hard. It goes on almost clear, which is great, but I sometimes think I'm missing some spots. I'm not sure. So overall, yeah, these are about the same. They have the same active ingredients. One has an odor, one's a little softer, one has no odor, one's a little harder. I feel as though that when I'm putting it on, I have to press a little bit to get this on, actually. But otherwise, once they go on, they stay on nice and well. They do their thing. They do seem to be somewhat waterproof. It's hard to tell exactly how much is on, how much is not on. But they do kind of work well. And honestly, it's really kind of a personal preference. I like them both.